Hello and welcome to the Space Between Ideas. I'm Blaine Gates. Oh, this is actually isn't what I wanted to show you. All right, so now remember we're doing this challenge. I was doing like a 9-week challenge, and in the overall 12-week challenge where I'm doing something physical, something spiritual, and then something with the business, like to develop the business every day, it's day 31. So I just passed the halfway mark for the 12-week challenge. And that means that we've been doing this for, I think it must be an 8-week challenge because I think we've been doing this for 2 weeks. But anyways, we're just going to keep going. I think I'll just make it sound like we're doing a 12-week challenge. Now, I was still doing, every day I was doing something with the business, but I just wasn't making YouTube videos. So now that I'm making the videos, the challenge is like really picking up speed because I got to show you I did something every day, which is really important, making a little bit of progress each day. All right, so here's the this week, next week, and here's the power of the this week, next week. So, setting a goal, I think, is fundamental to making progress in life. And this week, next week template, you put your goal in there. So develop new one-pagers and create online courses. All right, so I haven't done anything for that yet. And then, so here we put the item or the goal or the activity. So look at this, go through some how to build online course training. Now that's not going to happen this week, all right? So out of sight, out of mind. What about next week? Now I have like 4 or 5 different online courses that can help me learn this. So maybe we can just go through like one chapter each day of the challenge. Because actually I take Tuesdays off. All right, so that's one chapter. All right, so that's some progress. Why aren't I writing it in this week? I don't know. Let's just push it to next week. At least then the brain can start to work on that. Find opportunities to teach the checklists. All right, so for example, tonight I have a new, I have a trial, I can call it a trial lesson. And now, but the issue is that I'm not pushing stuff on people. I'm trying to find out what level of management the person is. And then we find the appropriate checklist for that level of management. So if I find out that this guy is like a decision maker, he's structuring deliverables, then yeah, we can move into that area. Otherwise, it's probably not going to happen tonight. What about tomorrow? So I have another trial lesson tomorrow, maybe 2. I think I have 3. I have 3 new trial lessons this week. So, and then the other thing is I think maybe Max on Friday. He's not. He'll be open to that, I think. Yeah, let's do it with Max. All right, Max. He's a software developer, and it could be an interesting conversation. Create one-pagers after teaching. Good idea. Have a checklist specific robust collection. Okay, so I did this case study thing. So it says find all previous examples. So I did that, and then put examples in one place. Done. Begin sharing examples during the teaching process. So get this ready and prepare lesson for Max. That's definitely what we can do. Now, if we're doing chess, we should be looking at next week as well. But I don't really want to because today we're just gonna look. We already have one thing, and let's make some slow progress. Slow progress is better than no progress. So I also. So the whole course is going to be called Create Data-Driven Decisions. So it's the whole idea, I can show you this. For the first time, I've created kind of a template for teaching the state assumptions checklist. Not really sure. I have one example. And then state impact. See, this is where I put all of the case studies. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I got about 25 examples I got to go through. And then figure out what these people were talking about, and then figure out what they all mean, find out the best examples. Anyways, so that's today, and we're running out of time. All right, so we just added some things to the to-do list, we make some decisions, and we completed some actions. What's going on? Why is it going past 5 minutes? All right, well, we'll see what happens, because I wasn't expecting it to go past 5 minutes. Maybe to change something. All right, so yeah, now they have this thing to like restart the recording. A lot of things are changing in Zoom. Let's jump into state assumptions. Zoom? No, I mean Loom. Now this is like where I'm working. So like this is so the two different checklists. If you look at the state impact checklist, now remember this is from the book Create Crucial Insight by Thomas Buchholz. So I should probably put a copyright. So this is all about making decisions. And then over here, there's like this connection between making decisions and data. So, and I spent a lot of time, like at least 2 emails, talking to the author, talking to Tom about this checklist, because it's quite challenging to understand. Describe and find needed data, synthesize information from data, convert information into useful knowledge, create or build insight relevant to decisions or actions, estimate benefits or risk making decisions at specific times under specific circumstances. All right, so this is actually exactly the same as these ideas. So involve metadata types. You're talking about describing data. Involve data, it means finding needed data, and then synthesize information from the data. That's talking about knowledge, and then you have to evaluate the quality. And then also converting information into useful knowledge, that's also knowledge. And then create and build insight relevant to decisions and actions. So that is, after you make sure that the information and knowledge is useful, then you start looking at looking at insights and trying to understand insights. And then lastly, estimate the benefit or risks of making a specific decision at specific times under specific circumstances. So this is talking about like, so, you know, how close to the mailbox are you when you're trying to mail a letter? Like how can we rely on this data? How sure are we regarding this data? So, you know, I have a better understanding of the checklist now in comparison to in the past. Something interesting that I saw for the first time recently is this comment. So plan downward and work upward. I've seen that I've seen that phrase in his book before when he's talking about, not the state synergies, when he's talking about the state progress checklist, actually. So, and that's when you start with your goal. What is it that you're trying to, what kind of effect are you trying to create? And then what kind of plans will lead you toward that goal? And then what kind of resources and interactions and motivations do you need in order to fulfill that plan? And then when you act out the thing, then you have to put those resources into play, find those people, and then actually create the plan. And then you take the action. So it was interesting that we're using the same methodology, the same concept. But I didn't really understand how to do it in practice because, I mean, how do you first understand where it is? So I guess what you're trying to do is you're trying to decide how close to the mailbox you want to be. Like, how rich do you want your insight to be? How much do you need to really understand? How confident? So people estimate how confident they are that a supposed insight about relevant factors is appropriate for deciding now whether to fill a job or if for deciding to which candidate to make an, and if so. Okay, so this example is talking about hiring a salesman or a salesperson. So this example is found in every chapter of the book. And so you first decide the relevant factors and how confident you want to be about like the sales candidate that you will be selecting. And then from there, people explicitly determine or implicitly assume insight about relevant factors. All right, so yeah. As you can see, this one's a challenge. Like this is literally the most difficult checklist of all the checklists. And then, so I'm trying to like create something that is useful. And also I'm trying to combine it into something that could be like an actual course. So I've started out the course concept with like, how do you create an endeavor? We talk about root cause analysis. Let's see if the video is going to end now. All right, it didn't, but I got to go figure out what's going on with this.